Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. This is Jolene. I'm the Microsoft IoT solution. I'm responsible for the Azure Tech lead. I have a team of the solution architect, really helping the customer or partner to really incubate the best-of-breed IoT solutions. And today is my honor to be invited by the Innodisk in the Innovation Day. I will talk about edge to cloud, end-to-end cybersecurity trend services. Particularly, we will also talk about a little bit AI-driven future. So it's my honor to be here. So let's proceed the agenda. So three agenda I will talk about mainly will be talk about the Microsoft the security trend and industrial trend. So I will talk about zero trust and the security graph, IT, OT security practices. And also I will talk about end-to-end cybersecurity offering from the Microsoft particularly. And lastly, I will talk about the ecosystem and also the summary to conclude. So this is starting from the really high 50,000 feet height. So how Microsoft really see the technology itself. So we see the technology from the cloud and also the edge. And the most important part will be intelligence. So intelligent cloud and intelligent edge, that's the main thing we talk about. And we talk about the different kind of the devices, ubiquitous computing. Either you are the sensor devices, or you are the gateways, you are the mobile devices, PCs, or heavyweight devices. So we want to cover all kinds of devices. And we want to focus on the user-centric. What is really the customer want? That will be the crucial. And this is what Microsoft think about the world, the technology world. So, so when we talk about the cloud and the edges, so in the between, so we talk about the solutions, especially we focus on the industries. So AI and IoT will be the basics. And we talk about the connected places, connected the virtual world and the physical worlds. And also the end-to-end security, and that is the focus of my speech today. So Microsoft have been invested actually a lot greatly in the IoT security, or we call the general securities. And we have achieved the 10 billion revenue in the last year. So and continue, we are actually growing really fastly at 40% per year. And this is really the focus. And let's talk about how Microsoft is doing the security portions. So we have grown the customer base from 0 to 400,000 customers. They are really using the Microsoft security services daily. So we are talking about 2.5 billion daily cloud-based detection bracket. So there's a lot of traffic we talk about on the security threats. So identity for sure, and also the collaboration, the compliance, and also the continue to detect the threats. They are the key things we talk about. So all those things actually are Microsoft provide, especially for the security services. And the next page is that's really walk through a video. Particularly we talk about zero trust security principles.
The reality of a distributed workforce has changed the notion of a corporate security perimeter. We're no longer just securing our office buildings, but everyone's kitchens. Today's organizations need a comprehensive security model to manage today's complexity, and Zero Trust provides just that. Instead of believing everything behind the corporate firewall is safe, with the Zero Trust model, organization assumes breach and verifies each request as though it originated from an untrusted network. Zero Trust strategy is based on 3 principles. Verify explicitly. Use least privileged access. Assume breach. Every access request is fully authenticated, authorized, and encrypted before determining access. Authentication and authorization of identities is based on all available data points, including user identity, data classification, device and application health, and location, be it a home office or a beach house in Hawaii. Strong policies are at the core of Zero Trust, enabling you to secure a mobile workforce while enabling productivity. Minimal access to resources and information based on legitimate business purposes should be enforced. Limit user, service, and application access with just-in-time and just enough access, risk-based adaptive policies, and data protection controls. Prepare for the worst to secure the best. Design your system so discrete components are not compromised by an attacker impacting other components, within reasonable risk assumptions. Use telemetry, analytics, and intelligence to increase visibility, speed detection, and respond in real time. Each step forward makes a difference in reducing risk and building trust across your entire digital estate, whether you're assessing your zero trust readiness or building plans to improve protection across your identities, devices, applications, data, infrastructure, and networks. And remember, no matter where the request originates or what resource it tries to access, never trust, always verify.
So that's great. So you heard what we think about the zero trust principles about. So basically it's 3 pillars. So we want to make sure that security is really very explicitly. So, and we want to use the least privileged accesses and assume breach. So the zero trust means you need to assume there could be a security threat all the times. How you can really protect. So in the center of the graph, you talk about the security policy enforcement, and that's all the data collected, the insights, analytics, and the action, the security actions that you need to apply. On the other side, you see the identities that will be the crucial part, and also the device securities. On the other side, we talk about the data, the app, the info, and the network. And this combined is the whole picture about the zero trust, the security principles. So the next we'll talk about the graph. So this is all the AI and machine learning all coming from. So above the product, we talk about any kind of threat, any kind of usages. But within the boundary, the compliance boundary, we were starting to collect the data. So data collection and the normalization, and go through all the algorithm processing, the analytics, and then we publish the kind of APIs. So you're going through the API, then you can continue to access the data. And you have a bunch of the different type of the security products being used here. And going through the whole process, the hunter will, based on the analytics result, and continue 24 hours, really provide the security services. So this is really the crucial part. We are talking about the security graph, and this is really the value centers. So let's shift a little bit and talk about IT and OT. So we know about the IT, the security threats. So when you're using the computer, your workstations, and there is IT we talk about. But how about OT? So the OT, the Gartner have defined OT means is a practice or principle or technologies that you can use to protect the people and also the devices and information, but it's going through the whole monitoring and the control of the physical devices and the process and the events. So we are talking about the whole process to be protected and to be secured. So particularly industry, we talk about manufacture, energy or water utility, a building for sure, smart spaces, including the smart buildings, smart cities, and smart campus for sure, and all kinds of the different manufacturing facility we are talking about. So those are the OT technologies. So if we want to go deeper, the IT security and OT securities, so we can think about IT will be the data. We always talk about confidentiality, the privacies. But on the OT, we talk about the safety. We want to make sure all the data are available, data availabilities. And IT side, we all talk about the HTTP, the standard protocols. But on the OT, there's a spatial manufacture production process of protocols been used for years, for tens of years actually. And OT are more confined in certain regions and less visibility on the risk. So those are the IT and OT, but the IT and OT actually are all coming together. So we are talking about IoT security. But in terms of the zero trust principle we mentioned earlier, so verify explicitly, implement the least privileged accesses, So we want to make sure that all the access rights actually are in the right labels. And we want to assume it's a compromise, assume we always have the breach of the security policies, and then going through all the regular hygiene processes. And then the next will be on the regular monitoring, 24/7. And you need to continue to watch the security threat and consider the situations. And on the other side will be the IoT. And even it goes down to the low level, the MCU level, the chip level securities. Those are all combined together that we call the zero trust for the industrial IoT security recommendations. So next topic, let me talk about the cybersecurity, especially the end-to-end portions. On the IoT portions, so we want to make sure that from the edge to the cloud, and during the whole processes, all the data collection, data communications, and also the cloud data processing, all those processes of end-to-end, they are protected, they are secure, they communicate or transformed, transmitted during the whole processes. So this is really the end-to-end security practices. So based on that, actually we will introduce we call the zero performance impact. So we want to make sure the security threat, the detection processes, actually, it does not really interrupt your regular OT operation processes. So it basically, it actually is a passive monitoring. But the passive monitoring will go through a special software module, a special boxes. And these boxes will continue to collect the data. And going through a product we call Azure Defender for IoTs, you will continue to collect data and analyze the threat situations. And also going through the Azure Sentinel, that basically you can provide this kind of a multi-cloud, the different cloud, mixed cloud situations, and it's all controlled. And it's operated in the back end, and it's a zero performance impact. And this is all the practice we want to enforce. So go back to the whole spectrum. So we talk about the security operation, that's the SecOps. So during the SecOps, on the top level, we talk about the security information and event management. That's Azure Sentinel is doing. It's a multi-cloud situation. So no matter is Azure cloud, or we are talking about is a Google Cloud or AWS Cloud, it's all about the same. So different cloud need to be also monitoring through the whole processes. That's called Azure Sentinel. On the bottom side, we call the extended response and detection, and that's what we call the Microsoft Defender. On the Microsoft 365 Defender, there is the modern Office. We have all the protection. And on the Defender portion, the SQL Server, your virtual machine, and also your IoT. So need to be protected. And this is the whole spectrum of the whole security services. So IoT actually is the key one that we are talking about today, especially for industrial IoTs. So I mentioned earlier, go back to really down MCU labels. So security need to really go down MCU, the chip labels. So we provide Azure Sphere products and collaborate actually with the Innodisk on the product offering also. So it's a chipset made by MTK, and we provide a chip label, secure label protections. And going through the whole process, actually, you do have security operating systems, and also have the security services. And these three pillars consist of the whole end-to-end, from chip label to the operating system, to the communication, to the services. And this is everything. It's just a whole loop to protect your data. So go back to the firmware labels. We have the Azure RTOS. It's a real-time, it's a reliable, protected operating systems. You can go down to the really low level and doing all the real-time operating system processing to make sure your data are protected and also connected to the cloud side, and connected to the Azure IoT. So that is Azure RTOS is doing. So next item, let me talk about the ecosystem portions. So you may think about how the end-to-end security can be implemented in your daily life. So first, the collaboration project we have as a partner is Nestlé. So during the pandemic, about 2 years ago, when the pandemic started, so we always talk about the touchless. So the Azure Sphere product is a dashboard embedded in the coffee machine. We are talking about really a commercial grade, expensive coffee machines with Nestlé. So they want to make sure that the whole operation is touchless, the whole operation is secured, and the coffee, the recipe to make the coffee actually are also protected. So we implement the Azure Sphere together with the Nestlé. Within the coffee machine, you have this protected Azure Sphere chipset, and going through the out-of-band management, you can communicate with the important data, and the data is protected. There is a Nestlé coffee, the machine. The second product we want to talk about is the docking stations. The docking station basically is most of the time in the enterprise situations, the environment they need to be protected. So within the docking stations, we have the Azure Sphere, the module implemented, and to make sure the whole operation process actually are protected. And so you can see this diagram basically is they also have the out-of-band the management to control the docking station. It will control the firmware upgrade. It will also collect the important critical data, especially on the docking working status, to make sure that the docking actually are protected. So let's talk about the product that we have collaborated with the Innodisk. So Innodisk actually produce a really high-end SSD. So within the SSD, the customer actually are looking for how we can really control the SSD if something went wrong. So out-of-band, the management going through the Sphere module will be really the crucial one. So when you talk about the cloud, is a cloud-based, is Azure supported. On the Azure side, you have Azure Sphere. In the Azure Sphere, you do have the OOB, the channels, and through these channels, you can really understand the current status of this SSD running, and also you can also control the firmware upgrade and without the interruption to the PC operations. And this is really the beauty of the whole products actually. It's really create out-of-band the firmware or management or secure the control or management. So make sure it's end-to-end, this is all protected. So this is a great product, the InnoEdge SSD product. The next product we are talking about is with a 6-in node. So environment, air situation, air detection, air quality, the detection, the devices, is how we can really improve the whole environment, make sure the air qualities are under certain regulation requirements, and make sure we can collect the data and can analyze the whole office environment and really provide a really great air quality products. I hope you really enjoyed the talk today. So we talk about the trend, industrial trend. We talk about how Microsoft really considered end-to-end securities. So zero trust is really the principle we want to recommend to the industry. So very explicitly. So use the least privileged accesses and assume breach always. So make sure your product, your services, your facility are really protected. End-to-end security services, we do have a Defender, we have a Sentinel for the mixed cloud. We provide the end-to-end solutions, Azure IoT securities, Sphere and RTOS. I hope you really see what we are doing here. And it's really great. We believe it's important to really collaborate with the partner together, with the partner to win together. So make sure, Microsoft will make sure that we collaborate with the partner and really provide end-to-end security services. We are talking about from the SaaS services to SI, to ISV or IHV partners, together with the hardware and the software, and provide the whole services. And it's my great honor here today to really introduce the Innodisk product and the 6 product today. And thank you so much, and thanks for listening.